Good morning. I hope you guys are having a great morning. I know you're accustomed to seeing Stacy and I on together, but I woke up with the ladies on my heart, and so I just figured it would be a good time for me to speak with you. Um, just want to share a little something that took place and why it impacted me the way it did. So, my husband and I. Um, had an opportunity to talk to a young man that was going through a divorce. And it saddened me, of course, because we are so passionate about staying married together. So um, it it was hard to listen to the conversation, but I walked away from it um, just in a place that I my heart was heavy. And to not give all of their story, I just want to give a little bit. Um, he had noticed that there were some things that were going on with his wife, just changes, and over time, very drastic, and to the point, at some point, it was not only she was endangering herself, but him and their child. And so he had to make a tough decision. But when he talked about why, when he got to this place, this is what impacted me the most. Um, it wasn't until he had a conversation with his mother-in-law that she began to share with him that his wife had been diagnosed with some mental issues prior to them even meeting. She had been on medication for years. He was never aware. They married, and it wasn't until they decided to start a family that she decided to come off the medication. So again, him not knowing any of this and her coming off the medication for as long as she did had some lasting effects. And so, tried to get her back on the medication. She wouldn't go back on. So it was a battle. And what was disheartening as well as, some people judged him and said, you know what, this is your wife, it's till death do you part, for sickness and in health, for better or for worse. And yes, those are the vows that we take. However, I had to step back and say, man, didn't he have a right to know that up front? You know, didn't didn't he need to know to be able to make decisions, for that to be something, you know, for him to decide? One, as much as we could look at it, he needed to know up front to decide if that was something he felt he could deal with. Or, if he did know, and he did marry her, didn't, wouldn't that be a conversation to say, should we risk your health to have a child? Is it better for us to start a family by adoption? Just options, conversation, sharing. But she took that from him. And so, ladies, I'm just I'm just on to this morning just saying, hey, if you're not being honest with your mate, and please hear me and hear my heart. I'm not talking about any and everything. I'm not talking about when you were 7, you went to the corner store and you stole some Starburst. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the things that have happened in your life that have shaped you into the person that you are today. Those issues, those wounds that may not even be healed, those areas in your life that you are still struggling to overcome. Those are the things that if you haven't talked to your husbands about, you should. And I pray that if you're not prepared, if you feel like you don't have the strength or the courage needed to be open and honest in those areas, seek help. There's nothing wrong with seeing a therapist or a counselor to help you walk through some areas so that you can share those parts of yourself that you really need to share. And again, I am not saying to just open yourself up and tell your husbands every single thing you've ever done. No, I'm not saying that. But I know that you know those areas that even, inwardly you're going, man, maybe I need to tell him. Maybe you do. Don't jeopardize your marriage over things that even possibly your husband can assist you in being whole, in your healing process. I firmly believe that there are areas in our lives as wives that God has equipped our husbands to be a part of our healing, to be a part of that being made whole and complete. I believe that's one of the reasons that he put us together. So please, again, hear my heart. No judgment here, just love. Be honest. If there are areas that are impacting you, and the reality is, if it's impacting you and it's influencing how you behave, your husband knows anyway. He may not know the issue, but he knows those things that you seem to be off about, those things that he might say or do that trigger responses that don't even seem warranted for the situation. So look inward. Take some time, be prayerful, but look inward. And if there's something that you need to be sharing with your mate, I pray that God gives you the courage and the strength you need to do that. And I believe that God will equip your husbands to handle what you have to say and to love you through it, and healing come from it as well. So I hope you guys have a great day. Listen, if you have any questions, any comments, any discussion about what I'm sharing today, chat it, put it on our put it in the comments. You can DM me a message. You can email me at Let's Stay Married Together at gmail.com. But I want to hear from you. All right. I love you. And we are going to stay married together. We can do it. God bless you.